that has to be built. Do they have enough habits? Because we know Golden State has the habits.
They've been doing it all year, D-Wade.
I mean,
how
okay.
They end up
Golden State been doing this shit forever.
How would they end up number 2 in the West? You show them respect by showing them no respect. Fuck Golden State. You think Houston give a fuck about it, Golden State? Young boy sitting over there horny and ready.
Horny and ready?
Oh my God.
Fuck about no Golden State.
Hell no. Horny,
Nothing
ready,
sitting over there horny and ready.
Hell no.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times Challenge.
If Steph and Jimmy combine for 56 and you guys score 95, is that sustainable or are you a guy short? And now the answer might be they might be a guy short as far as contention, but the Rockets are 2 guys short as far as this series. But I'm not going to panic over this game because I thought Jimmy was excellent and thought Steph was excellent, and it still felt like the Rockets were in it late, even though that avalanche hit them in the third quarter. But obviously, they need someone other than Sengun to not be afraid to shoot the basketball, and that didn't happen yesterday.
And so absolutely, Sengun is the only one who showed up and showed out in his first playoff game.
Call there, he was shoved out the air. Oh, here comes Sengun! And there goes Sengun!
Got to go here. 5 on the shot clock. The Rockets have played very deep into the shot clock. Now Sengun. Oh!
And it's looking like it's by design. It's looking like Steve Kerr is going to allow Sengun to get off in hopes that everybody else doesn't get off. Because if you look at this play right here, they allow Steph Curry to go one-on-one with Sengun. And this is a play that you would normally help on right here. You got a 6'11 all-star post phenomenon going up against a 6'2 guy that's not known as a defender, to put it nicely. And so you would normally help on this play, but the Warriors are not going to help. They're going to allow Stephen Curry to go one-on-one with Sengun. And on this play, Stephen Curry gets away with a foul, a little bit of a hit on the wrist. The ball is short, and they're on to the next play. And they did this all game, allowing Sengun to go one-on-one with whoever he was matched up with. And to his credit, he did what he was supposed to do. He dominated. But outside of Sengun and Jabari Smith somewhat, nobody was hitting open shots.
Here's the Sengun numbers. Rockets last night, Sengun went 11 for 18, shooting 61%. The rest of the team shot 33%. And unlike the Lakers game where we thought the Wolves were getting open looks, I thought Fred and Jalen Green were getting open looks too. They went 2 for 17 from three-point range, Brew.
Well, Van Vliet, he's the surprising one.
So does that feel like an outlier? And Jalen after the game was like, it's my first game. But that's not an excuse for Fred. It just felt like he had a bad shooting night. Does that give you any pause and like, all right, as long as if Fred hits 3 of those, all of a sudden we're back in the ballgame. I mean, and the rebounding numbers are going to stay the same. I don't think it collapsed a little bit. But the Rockets are going to win the rebounding no matter what the Warriors do.
But the 22-6 on offensive glass is crazy.
And so if I'm the Houston Rockets, I'm not feeling too bad about that loss. That's probably one of the best losses that you can possibly have. Going up against the Golden State Warriors in which you hold them to 95 points, but you only managed to score 85 points. The lowest scoring total of the entire season for the Houston Rockets. And so if I'm going into the next game, I'm feeling pretty good about it, especially knowing how versatile and how deep the Houston Rockets are.
You know, what I do like about Houston is their ability to change their lineups.
Yeah. They brought up that big lineup, I think, that you mentioned last week.
And they got to roll out, like, that's the only thing where I says, you know, if you roll out a big-ass lineup so Steph can't shoot those threes where you're just sitting there huge for moments in the game, it could help you, but, you know, you're not going to be able to bully through them like you did at game 1.
Yeah, this whole series is going to come down to experience. I just think Houston's just too young. And I think when you have Golden State that's hitting shots the way they're hitting, and you have Jimmy playing the way he's playing, it kind of like, you know, it kind of brings you down when you're not used to those type of situations. You know, Steph hitting that shot, that crazy shot, Steph coming down, hitting them long, them shit is like, kind of like, you know, it kind of bring your whole team down, especially when you're not used to it and don't know how to play through that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good learning experience for them.
The last couple games, but this could be a
personally, listen, I love what Houston has done. And I'm a firm believer in that. You just got to show me. And it's not disrespect to what they've done in the regular season and not disrespect to what their coach has done in his career. But when you're going against someone that has championship DNA, like Golden State has, like Draymond and obviously Steph has, and then obviously bringing the Jimmy. When you're going against those dogs, that you got to bury them. It's hard for me to say that you can bury those dogs that I just watched their last 5 minutes execute the game plan to perfection. I don't know if Houston yet, because I have not seen it, once they get on them bright lights in the playoffs, game 7, game 6, whatever it is, if they can execute in those last 5 minutes on both ends to perfection. Because like I said, this is habits that has to be built. Do they have enough habits? Because we know Golden State has the habits.
They've been doing it all year, D-Wade.
I mean,
how would they end up
Golden State been doing this shit forever.
How would they end up number 2 in the West?
No, they're good.
They're a good team.
And I'm gonna tell you something. And you know this as being a young player. You show them respect by showing them no respect. Fuck Golden State. You think Houston give a fuck about it? Golden State? Young boy sitting over there horny and ready.
Horny and ready? Oh my God.
Fuck about no Golden State.
Hell no. Horny
Not the city of the horny and ready.
Hell no.
Hey, coach.
Sitting over there like nervous and scared.
No.
This is my chance. This is my chance to take out one of the best.
Okay.
So when I get my chance in front of the world, can't nobody help them. You dig?
Y'all see why he was leading? See what
What is you talking about? You think them young boys don't know this is their chance? You think them young boys don't know the world saying that Steph Curry gonna say they don't
But we also know that them old dogs ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah.
You ain't just about to know that them dogs are all you want.
And we know them dogs are old too.
They've
been fighting for the last 2 months.
And this is why the Miami Heat and Pat Riley kept a Udonis Haslem around as long as they did. A guy like Udonis Haslem is invaluable to a team and to a locker room, especially when you're talking about a younger team. And the Houston Rockets have a few locker room guys like Udonis. Not quite like Udonis Haslem, but they've got a few guys. Jeff Green comes to mind. Fred VanVleet comes to mind. And so they have guys in that locker room that are telling a lot of these young guys like, hey, we got nothing to lose. We're not even supposed to be here. We already overachieved. We got one of the youngest rosters in the league, and yet we're number 2 in the West. We got the number 2 spot in the West. And so they're playing with house money. Outside of having a total collapse and maybe which they get swept and they get blown out the rest of these games, nobody's expecting the Houston Rockets to win this series. And I still think this is going to be a tough-fought series. I still expect it to go to 6 or 7 games, and I'm still rocking with the Rockets. I'm still rolling with Ime Udoka. I still think they can pull this off, and we got game 2 coming up shortly, and so we're going to see the Houston Rockets definitely don't want to go down 0-2, having to go back to the Bay.
So the Van Vliet should definitely be better for me.
Right. Hold on, real quick. This is important.
What?
Because you said you don't want to do picks until a halftime or after game 1.
Yeah.
So I have the Rockets in 7 still. Brew has the Warriors in 6 still. Who is your pick in this series?
I'm going to have to take the Rockets in 7, begrudgingly.
And I expect the Rockets to come out a lot looser than they did in game 1, especially a lot of the young guys. And Fred VanVleet can't possibly have a performance like he did in that first game. And if he does, they may have to think about going to Reed Sheppard. Reed Sheppard was a little bit raw when he first came into the league the first couple of months of the season, but it looked like he started to figure out towards the end of the season. And so if I'm Ime, I would take a good, long, hard look at the end of that bench and take a look at Reed if they continue to have some of the shooting struggles that they have. But that's all I had on this one. Make sure you guys go ahead and keep the comments coming in the comment section below. And as usual, peace and chaos.